Hello, everyone. This is Kylene, the Executive Director of Parents for Public Schools of Pitt County. I'm being joined this evening by several folks who are running for County Commissioner here in Pitt County. I do want everyone to know that Parents for Public Schools is a nonpartisan nonprofit. And so we do not endorse any particular candidate here this evening, but we do want you to get to know your candidates and make the decision that you feel is best for your family when you head to the polls. All candidates who were running for County Commissioner have been invited to this forum. Some were not able to attend, but we will be able to feature bios in an upcoming newsletter as well. So please be on the lookout for that next week. At this time, I'd like to turn it over to the Vice President of the Parents for Public Schools Board, Desha Lane. She'd like to welcome everyone this evening.
Good evening. Thank you, Kylene. I am Desha Lane. I'm the Vice President of the Board of Directors for Parents for Public Schools of Pitt County. We're thankful to each of you for joining us for our forum this evening. At Parents for Public Schools, we believe that it is very important for our members to be aware of those who are running for local elected official positions, and to particularly be aware of how those positions affect our public education system. We look forward to hearing from each of you this evening and sharing this forum with our members in the days to come. Thank you for joining us this evening. Thank you, Kylene.
Thank you so much, Desha. At this time, we are going to begin our forum. Each candidate will have 2 minutes to introduce themselves, 2 minutes to answer a question about how they plan to support public education if elected, and then a 2-minute closing statement. So candidates, we will go ahead and get started. And we are going to start with a 2-minute introduction from Daniel Van Leer.
You ready?
You're ready.
Perfect. Well, good evening, and thank you for inviting me to participate in tonight's forum. My name is Daniel Van Leer, and I'm here seeking your support to be your next independent Pitt County Commissioner for District B. I've lived in Pitt County for nearly 20 years, first as a student at ECU, then moving back after getting married, where my wife Ashley and I have now lived for the past 14 years with our 9-year-old son and 11-year-old daughter. Over the past 15 years, I have worked side by side with local, state, and federal officials to collaborate, improve transportation, healthcare, and economic opportunities across Eastern North Carolina. It's important to note that I've done this not by playing partisan politics, but instead by working collaboratively with representatives from both sides of the aisle. This is why I chose to run as an independent. I know firsthand that compromise and collaboration will always achieve more than divisive political partisanship. Throughout my time in Eastern North Carolina, I have worked hard to give back to this community, serving on the Red Cross, the vestry at St. Paul's, and most recently on the Pitt County Development Commission. I've coached baseball, and I'm a Cub Scout den leader. In 2019, I was awarded ECU's prestigious 40 Under 40 award in recognition for my commitment to service. We live in a beautiful county with vast resources and infinite possibilities. Amazing towns all ready to be revitalized, not gentrified, to thrive as they once did. But Pitt County is at a crossroads. In one direction, we can come together to work towards a unified community, fiscally responsible growth, support for our farmers, improve schools, and a better education for our children. Or we can continue on the path that the county is on, one of stagnation and status quo. We know this path all too well, as it's one of a lack of progress, where we continue to watch as our neighboring counties grow and flourish while Pitt County is left behind. Now I'm asking for your faith and support to become your next Pitt County Commissioner and strive to make our shared vision of Pitt County a reality. Thank you.
Thank you so much for those comments. We are going to move now to an introduction from Miss Betsy Flanagan.
Good evening. Thank you, Kylene, for giving the citizens who will tune in to watch this forum the opportunity to get to know the candidates who are running for local offices. My name is Betsy Flanagan, and I'm running for County Commissioner District C. District C is a super district that encompasses districts 4 and 5 and about 1/3 of the population of Pitt County. As a quick introduction to me personally, my husband Mark and I have 3 teenage boys, and we make our home in Farmville, where we've lived for the last 20 years. I operate an accounting consulting firm where my firm works for about 24 businesses across Pitt County and Eastern North Carolina. I'm entering the end of my term as the District 4 representative on the Pitt County Board of Education and serve as the current chairman. I have served in the chair role now for nearly a year, and through arguably some of the most challenging times in Pitt County Schools history. I'm very proud of the work that Pitt County Schools has done to navigate some very challenging times for our schools. In fact, the path that brought me to where I am now as a candidate for county commissioner actually began with me stepping out to be a public servant to advocate for public education. 2020 has taught us that the world is more uncertain than it has ever been and has the ability to change dramatically at a moment's notice. Our community needs strong leadership at every level now more than ever, and it's imperative to have leaders in place at all levels of government that can respond accordingly and lead effectively. I am a coalition builder and enjoy working together with a diverse group of people to come up with creative solutions to the complex problems that face Pitt County. And I look forward to doing that work on the Pitt County Board of Commissioners. I believe that my experience and my strengths are an asset that uniquely qualifies me to serve Pitt County as the next District C representative. Thank you.
Thank you so much for those comments. We are going to move now to an introduction from Ms. Beth Ward. Beth, I'll need to unmute you. Ms. Ward, you're currently muted. There you go. You're unmuted. Excellent. All right, whenever you're ready.
Okay, I feel like I need to, in my introduction, just say that I was born and raised in Farmville, North Carolina. Went to school all the way through, as they used to say in Farmville. Attended East Carolina University here in Pitt County, and have, my BS and my 2 master's degrees from there. We were away from Pitt County only about 8 years, following my husband when he served his time in the Marine Corps. And then we came back and settled in Greenville because I had a mother-in-law in Bethel and a mother living in Farmville. So we got in the middle. And my service to Pitt County has been ever since I can remember being an adult. I had a good role model in my mother and her service. I think it's important that we understand that the commissioners, you have to be elected in your 2 areas or 1 area, depending on which. We're in the super district, one of the 3 super districts. But once you get in there, it is a service to the entire county, because you'll get calls and you'll be asked to visit, and all over the county there are things going on, and they like to let all the community, all the commissioners know about it. I'm not going to go through all the committees and things that I've done and been on, but I hope that my service in the past will carry me through. And as far as education is concerned, that can be no one any more focused than I am. I was assistant principal at Farmville Middle School, principal at Tactolis, principal at G.R. Whitfield, and principal at Wintergreen. So I know the school system.
We're going to stop there and move on to the next question.
Thank you very much.
And the next question is about education. So you've already gotten a good start.
Okay.
But we're going to go ahead and move on to the next introduction of Mr. Jerry Cox. And Mr. Cox, we'll have to get you unmuted. We won't start your time until you're unmuted.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you, absolutely. So whenever you're ready. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello, my name is Jerry Wayne Cox. I'm seeking your vote for District 6 Pitt County Commissioner. I am a retired executive director for a housing authority after 32 years, which gave me managerial experience. I am also a retired soldier of the U.S. Army Reserve after 33 years at the rank of Command Sergeant Major and a Vietnam veteran, which provided me leadership experience and working with privates all the way up to generals. I am a great example of the value of a solid education leading to fine careers. I used the GI Bill to complete my degree at East Carolina University. The military also afforded me the opportunity to graduate from the U.S. Army Sergeant Major's Academy. Having lived in Pitt County all my life, I attended the public schools here. My children attended these same schools, and now my grandchildren are attending as well. My run for county commissioner is because I love Pitt County. It has given me so much, and I want to be able to give back to my home base. After rearing my children and retiring from my civilian and military careers, I want to make the time to devote to all of you and this job. I want to be a part of the decision-making to bring us out of this COVID-19 global pandemic with the least harm to us and a strong economic recovery. I want to do all that. I want to do all that I can to see families get back to a near normal and our industrial and economic development to flourish. Remember, working together, we can accomplish anything. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for those comments, Mr. Cox. We will move on to another introduction from Ms. Lauren White, and we'll make sure that you are unmuted before we start. All right, whenever you're ready, Ms. White.
Okay, thank you both for putting this forum on tonight. My name is Lauren White, and I'm a lifelong resident of Southern Pitt County, being born and raised in the Blackjack community, where I still live today. My husband, Jonathan, and I managed a diversified farming operation consisting of 2,500 acres of row crops, 2 hog farms, and cows. I'm also a part-time administrative coordinator for Nutrient Ag Solutions, and I currently serve as the chair of the Voluntary Ag District. We have 2 boys, James and Christian, and they are in 4th and 2nd grade, and I'm very proud to say that they are 4th generation Hornets at Chicago School. The past year and a half, I've had the privilege of serving in the District 6 seat on the Pitt County Board of Commissioners. I have made myself accessible to all citizens, and I have been engaged in the community. With 2 children in public schools and also being a product of public education myself, public education is very important to me and will continue to be a top priority of mine.
Thank you so much for those comments. So those are our introductions this evening, and now we get to move on to really the heart of tonight's program, where we hear our candidates answer a specific question related to public education. So candidates, I will ask the question and we will go through the same order, and each of you will have 2 minutes to answer. If anyone needs me to repeat the question at any point, please let me know. That will not count in your 2 minutes. So our question this evening is, as a candidate for the Pitt County Board of Commissioners, how do you plan to work collaboratively with your fellow commissioners and other county leaders to provide the utmost support for public education? And Mr. Van Leer, we are going to start with you.
Perfect. Well, thank you. Collaboration is key. Allowing the opportunity for all ideas to be heard is absolutely instrumental in producing an education system where we all feel ownership and can be proud of in the end. Working with our school board to ensure that we all have the same end goal. This goes for the city and towns as well. We may all have different paths in mind as to how to achieve this goal, but if we can first agree on what we want to achieve, then we have a solid foundation in place and a reason to put all the hard work, ahead. For most of local government, safety and a strong economy rise to the top of a priority list. The public education system, however, plays an integral role in achieving these priorities, amongst many others. Ensuring that public schools are included when addressing these priorities and not an afterthought is extremely important. Safety, for instance. This is an important issue within our schools as it is outside of our schools, not simply focusing on how to protect those on the inside from individuals on the outside, but ensuring that our children are safe within the school walls, not afraid to go to the bathroom during the day, that they are indeed safe and ready to learn. connecting school safety with public safety, and addressing the growing national trend where children, mostly low income and children of color, are funneled out of public schools and into the juvenile criminal justice system. Our economic strength comes from the success of our students and their readiness once they graduate high school and choose to enter the workforce or continue their education, and doing whatever possible to ensure that our students truly have the ability to choose one or the other. Collaborating as a county and as a community, bringing everyone together and deciding that this indeed is important enough to focus on now, not deal with later.
Thank you so much. We appreciate your comments. We will move next to Miss Betsy Flanagan. Do you need a repeat of the question, or are you all set?
Nope, I'm all set.
All right, you may start whenever you'd like.
Okay. I am in a very unique position because I have been on the ground fighting for education here in Pitt County for 4 years and have already developed very positive relationships with federal, state, and local leaders. If you were to ask Senator Davis, Representative Jones, Congressman Murphy, and even my opponent, I feel pretty sure that they would attest to my advocacy for public education here in Pitt County. Obviously, when you serve on an elected board, you cannot do anything on your own, and you have to convince a majority of others to agree with what you're trying to accomplish. So the ability to have a respectful working relationship is key. It takes a lot of time to listen, really hear other perspectives that are often different than your own, and a commitment to work together to find solutions to the challenges of adequately planning for the needs of our schools here in Pitt County. I think one key component that is currently missing is a true understanding of the current challenges that the Pitt County Board of Education is experiencing. Saying that Pitt County Schools receives the largest portion of our budget and is our top priority is just not enough. We have county commissioners that serve as liaisons to other boards throughout the county, but we don't have one who serves as liaison to the Pitt County Board of Education. In fact, I've never seen a county commissioner at a Board of Education meeting, and I've been to every one for 4 years. I think that this is an area that we can improve and assign a commissioner liaison. In addition, county commissioners across the state have had to pick up some burdens because the local schools have been underfunded and the local need is greater than the funding they receive from the state. I'm hopeful that the recent movement on the Leandro ruling will help correct that issue with the state underfunding our local schools. However, until that occurs, I think it's awfully important for the county commissioners to have positive working relationships with our local delegation to the General Assembly to advocate for our schools.
Thank you so much for your comments, Ms. Flanagan. We are now going to move on to Ms. Ward. Ms. Ward, let's make sure that you are unmuted. You're good. Whenever you are ready, do you need me to repeat the question?
No, I think I've got it.
Okay, wonderful, whenever you're ready.
Okay, thank you. I would like to respond to the comment about no commissioners attending the school board meeting. When I first came on the commissioners, we had a commissioner who was assigned. You had different organizations and boards that as a commissioner you got assigned to. So I had as many as I could. The Board of Education was one that I did serve on. And then I don't know what happened, but that kind of went along the wayside. I know that the commissioners didn't vote to take that off, so I don't know what happened there. But with that said, I would like to say that I have 3 areas that I have focused on as far as the county commissioners has been concerned since I've been serving there. The first one has always been education. Now, we didn't have an order of departments and areas that we were going to focus on until the first commissioners workshop I attended. And at that one, we came up with our top, I think it was 6 goals or service areas that we felt. And I remember meeting downstairs in the basement of the county office building. And after spending a full day with someone from Raleigh directing us, education came out #1. And it has been #1 since then. And it's always been the top budget receiver as far as budget has been concerned when we have to divvy up when the time comes. The second one is public safety, which is with our sheriff's department. And the third one is the economic development, which we also know, as far as the county is concerned, how important that is.
Thank you for your comments,
You're
Commissioner
welcome.
Ward.
Thank
We
you.
so appreciate you joining us and sharing those. We will now move on to have the same question answered by Mr. Jerry Cox. Jerry, do you need the question repeated or do you feel confident?
No, I'm good.
You're good. Okay, great. Whenever you're ready.
Thank you for allowing me to speak on this subject. As you know, the Pitt County school population is increasingly diverse and growing, and that's good. As a county commissioner, it is essential that I be fully informed. I need to hear from Pitt County schools administrators about what the needs are from the schools. I cannot address the needs if I do not know what they are. I need the priorities and their supportive data. Can we review the outcomes of past successes and failures from previous years? We need measurable facts. Let's all see what worked and what did not work to our benefit. The first thing that comes to mind this year is the fact that we have not had an approved current state budget in 16 months, affecting the Pitt County schools. We need answers. Are we meeting our stated goal of providing quality education during this COVID-19 pandemic versus school safety? With answers to these questions from my county leaders, I would encourage us to put partisan politics aside to work together to provide adequate facilities, technology, books, well-paid teachers with good local supplements, along with the additional supplies and resource funding that teachers so sorely need. In creating our legislative goals, let us as a unified body demand the General Assembly provide a responsible budget that funds our schools, because one highly qualified teacher leaving the profession because he or she was not taken care of is one too many. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing your comments with us. We're now going to move on to Ms. Lauren White and have her respond to the same question. Ms. White, do you need that question repeated?
No, ma'am, I'm good.
All right, whenever you're ready. Thank you.
Public education in Pitt County is big business. In fact, Pitt County Schools is the third largest employer in the county, hiring over 3,600 administrators, faculty, and staff. There are more than 23,000 students in 37 schools, and this does include 2 early colleges and NERSA, with a total annual budget of $260 million. Pitt County Schools is a major player in our county and necessitates a tremendous commitment from the Pitt County Board of Commissioners. My focus as commissioner will be to continue to improve our educational system by working with the other 8 Pitt County commissioners and Pitt County Board of Education to increase the local teacher supplement current rate of 6% to 10%, provide more funding for our school resource officers, contribute resources to establish more safe campuses, provide additional resources to expand vocational education, encourage our local legislators to promote the passage of statewide school construction funds, and also to continue to advocate for us at the state level for grants. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing those comments. It was great to hear all of your comments around how you plan to support public education. And now we will head into our closing comments with the same format. We'll go through the same order, and each person will have 2 minutes for closing comments. So, Mr. Van Leer, we will once again begin with you.
Well, thank you all for allowing me this opportunity to be here tonight. We've talked about what we stand for and what we believe in. And and I believe that action and dedication stand for more than campaign slogans and empty words. As an independent candidate, I was required to collect close to 1,600 signatures in order for my name to even be included on the ballot. For over 4 months, I spent nights and weekends working hard to collect these signatures. I went out into the Pitt County neighborhoods, met with families on their doorsteps to let them know who I am and what I stand for. In the end, I collected over 2,500 signatures from independents, Democrats, Republicans, Libertarians, Constitution and Green Party voters, folks who believed enough in me and my message to give me the opportunity to earn their vote. They believed in the message that as we face the dawn of this new decade, we find ourselves with a rare opportunity to shape a path that will have a long-lasting impact, not only on Pitt County, but all of Eastern North Carolina. Our public schools are developing the adults of our future. Adequately funding our schools and ensuring that they have the resources necessary to help our children succeed is extremely necessary and important. We owe it to our children to do better. I believe it is our responsibility to do better. We have watched as our nation has become politically polarized. Neighbors are pitted against one another, and in the end, it's the people that suffer because of this. As an independent candidate, I can help bridge this divide and bring us together. My allegiance is and always will be to the people and not to a political party. I believe that we can be one community by working together, and we can accomplish many great things. My name is Daniel Van Leer, and I'm seeking your support to be your independent Pitt County Commissioner representing District B. Thank you.
Thank you so much for those closing comments. We are going to continue moving forward with closing comments from each candidate, and we will now move to Ms. Flanagan.
Thank you. I had one more. I'm going to just take the first few minutes of my closing because I had one more idea that I wanted to share about working together for public education that I couldn't squeeze into 2 minutes. And that is that I would encourage all of the county commissioners, current, those of us who are seeking office, if you get elected, if you don't get elected, to please participate in the Parents for Public Schools Parent Engagement Program, because I can speak from experience that it is such a great investment in getting a true operational understanding of what the current reality is in public education here in Pitt County. And now on to my closing. We've heard some really great perspectives here this evening and talked about our commitment to public education here in Pitt County. And we obviously have challenges ahead that we need to navigate. But in order to have the very best outcomes for our students, we are going to need representatives who can work collaboratively together, not only on the Board of Education, but on the Board of Commissioners, but also working closely with the Board of Education, because we do have to develop a responsible plan that aligns both of our goals. I have worked with colleagues that serve on boards of education in other counties, and they have great relationships with their county commissioners. And when you drill down and really compare what those counties have in common, it's a very positive and collaborative working environment where they stay in touch, and they work together regularly. I'm a believer that one of the best investments that we can make in our community is in our children's education. I know it's a long-term investment and you may not reap the benefits for 13 years, but I am positive that it is the best tool to fight poverty, invest in a future workforce, and in turn strengthen our tax base here in Pitt County. I'm ready to get to work to make a stronger Pitt County for everyone, and I would like to respectfully ask you to vote Betsy Flanagan for District C County Commissioner. Thank you.
Thank you so much for those closing comments, Ms. Flanagan. Commissioner Ward, that moves us to you for closing comments.
Thank you. And again, I would like to thank you at this time for this opportunity. I wanted to share something that I didn't get to share before. Just in 1919 to 1920, there have been 16 administrators and assistant principals paid for, locally funded, that means Pitt County dollars, clerical 129 over and above, teachers 41, and 62 maintenance technology. That's something that we have been doing for many years. I've got all the last 3 years, but with that said, it probably sounds kind of hokey to say you enjoy this job. I do. I'm retired. I have a lot of time to spend. I talk to a lot of people. I believe in Pitt County. I believe in education. That's one reason it remains the top priority for Pitt County commissioners. It is important that the entire community understands that when we go through this education system, we have PCC, we have ECU after our Pitt County school experience, and many of our citizens stay in this county and work. I mean, some of them leave, but I think the opportunity to do what we do in education for the Pitt County citizens is beyond anything else that we can do, and that's why it's going to remain number one as far as the commissioner's goals are concerned as long as I serve. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for those closing comments, Commissioner Ward. We'll move now to closing comments from Mr. Jerry Cox.
Thank you, and best wishes to your organization in its quest to securing high-quality education in Pitt County. I hope you have seen from my bio and my answer to your question that I am the best fit for Pitt County as the District 6 Commissioner. I have devoted my life in service to others, especially the less fortunate, whether fighting for freedom in a combat zone in Vietnam or providing quality housing to families in need. I am a past Aden Chamber of Commerce Citizen of the Year, which I feel honored to be one of my accomplishments. The big issues I see facing us is COVID-19 and its associated effects, job losses, and the accompanying lack of health insurance, and how its effects have devastated our economy. People are struggling to put food on the table, pay bills, educate their kids, and take care of aged parents, all while working remotely from home themselves. It has indeed been a difficult year. We can all hope for a better 2021. In closing, and bidding all of you good night, I want to remind you, please vote. It's your right, it's your duty. Thank you.
Thank you so much for those closing comments. We will move now to closing comments from Ms. Lauren White.
Thank you so much. Thank you again for putting this forum on, and thank you to all the viewers for watching and listening. Local government is very, very important because it affects our lives every single day. Like I said earlier, I have 2 children in public schools, so public education is a top priority to me. The past year and a half has been a very rewarding experience for me to get the privilege to be a voice for every citizen in Pitt County. I want to thank everyone for their support for this past year and a half, and I humbly ask for your vote in the general election so that I can continue to be your voice representing District 6 on the Pitt County Board of Commissioners. Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thank you to each of you for participating tonight, and Desha Lane for joining us to represent the Parents for Public Schools Board of Directors. For those who are going to be viewing this at home, I'd like to remind you that the best way we can share the information about our candidates for our county is to share forums like this. So if you saw this on social media or you received it in an email, please share this with your friends and family so that they can begin to decide what the best vote is for their family. I will also say, if you are not signed up for our newsletter, please visit our website, www.ppspittcounty.org, and sign up for our newsletter, which comes out once a month. This month will feature one newsletter from our Board of Education candidates and one newsletter from our County Commissioner candidates with a bio and a photo of each one. I'd also like to remind everyone that early voting begins Thursday, October 15th. And once again, as Parents for Public Schools, we won't tell you who to vote for, but we will ask you to vote for the best choice for your family as you think about who represents you, and particularly who will help secure the highest quality public education in our public schools. Again, thank you to each person who joined us this evening. Thank you to those at home who are going to be watching this once it's posted. I hope everyone has a great night. Thank you again for your time.